All right, while we wait for the participant, maybe we could just drop our names and our location. Here I am in Nigeria. I think it's afternoon here. I don't know if that's the same for some of us in other countries. Just your name and where you're joining in from. Thank you. Wow, I think quite a number of countries here. Oh, welcome. Okay. Good afternoon, Joseph. Oh, good afternoon, Olivia from Cameroon. Good afternoon. Nisha from Germany. I guess it should be morning, maybe. Samuel, good afternoon. Also joining me from Nigeria. Blessing, joining me from Nigeria. Good afternoon, you're welcome. Also see Mr. Dari. Okay, Henry from Nigeria as well. Okay, Yoma from Togo, good afternoon, you're welcome. Okay, Mary, hi, good afternoon. And Sarah Lone, well, from Sudan, good afternoon. You're all welcome to this meeting. Okay, just in some moments, I'll be able to share my screen. Just have a little. Sorry, please bear with me. Just a little technical issues. I'm waiting on one of our key personnel to just give me the hosting privilege so I can be able to share my screen. Okay, while we wait for that to happen, I think we can just go on so you can meet some of the fellows that are here with us. I have here, I'm going to be introducing the fellows. I'll just say their names and I'll let them tell you a little more about themselves, what they are currently doing, their designation in those offices. And I think just to help us meet some of the fellows that we that I worked with during the 2021 cohort. So first off, let me start with myself. Um, my name is Shalom, Ibo Shalom Chilaro. I'm natively from Nigeria. And I was a part of the AFYEL fellowship for the first cohort. So it happened that in 2021, that was when the first cohort of the AFYEL fellowship was born. And applied, and I was so excited to have been selected. Like I usually say, the AFYEL fellowship was like a platform for me because originally I studied chemical engineering, and though we covered a little courses on renewable energy systems, they were not in-depth experiences, but I had this passion for renewable energy, and I actually wanted to develop my career towards that. So the AFYEL fellowship served as the AFYEL fellowship served as the platform for me, giving me intensive knowledge um, on the four different renewable energies, resources, solar, wind, bioenergy, and hydropower. And since then, I've been opportuned to join other fellowships, such as the Student Energy Fellowship, the 2022 cohort, the Include Academy, and we just finished one of this arena course, and just courtesy of this fellowship, some of the things that were highlighted during this fellowship, I was able to replicate them in my essays for other fellowships, and fortunately, I was selected. So I'll also give rooms for other fellows to introduce themselves just quickly, and then go on. I'll go on to direct the affairs of this call. So over to you. I'll be introducing to us Moise Adekunle Agbaje. Please introduce yourself to.
Okay, thank you very much, Shalom. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, you are.
Okay, great. Good morning. It's morning here. My name is Moise Adekunle. I'm Nigerian. I'm a PhD student here at Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute in Troy, New York. I joined the AFYEL Fellowship with Shalom and the other guys last year. And it was a game changer, actually. It was, we did several components of the renewable energy. We did the wind, bioenergy, we did solar. We also did some economic analysis, which was actually what inspired me to apply for the fellowship, because the economic analysis, I'm a researcher. So economic analysis is actually a big deal for us, because most times in engineering, we don't focus on the economic analysis, and it was definitely worth it. So yeah, it was really a great experience, and I really liked it, and I learned a lot, actually, a lot more than I actually expected to learn. And also, I would like to point that the fellowship is not just, the instructors are not just some guys. They are the best of the best in the industry and also in the research space. So you can be sure, you can rest assured you are getting the best training from the best of the best. So I think that's that about me. I would like the next person to go.
All right, thank you so much. We've heard from Moise. All right, over to Mr. Idol Taiwo. Are you there?
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Am I audible? Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, can.
All right, my name is Ido Taiwo Daniel. I'm a 2021 AFYEL fellow. I joined my other fellows the fellowship last year, where we considered the major renewable energy sources, and we dive in depth into the topics. And currently, I'm work at Energy Solar Limited as a testing and quality control engineer. But I needed to just expand my scope of knowledge. So it was a good mind opportunity to network with other energy professionals across the continent. So it was a game changer for me, because I was able to widen my scope in the solar space. And I also saw beyond just solving solutions and ensuring that these solutions are reliable and they're economically viable. My favorite class was the solar class with Mr. Evan Kramer. So it was a very wonderful eye opener. to see the amount of project that has been done on solar. I'm sure this is an opportunity we'd love to, go over and over again if you're given the opportunity. So I would advise you just sit back and ensure that your essays are well typed out and you ensure to put into practice whatever is being recommended from this webinar. Thank you and do have a great time. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Calvin, can you take up? Yeah, we can hear you.
Everyone can solve my day, and I'm sure you can hear me well.
Yeah, we can now.
Okay, my name is Calvin Mawale from Zimbabwe. I'm actually not an engineer. I'm a finance person, but I have a renewable energy company by the name Giant Energy Company. Sorry. So I managed to be in the first cohort of the AFYEL program. I benefited a lot on the program. We have some fantastic lecturers who taught us on how best can we utilize these renewable energy sources for us to boost the power supply in Africa. So currently there are a lot of pilot projects that we are doing. It's Giant Energy Company here in Zimbabwe as a result of the lessons that we did with AFYEL. So it was actually a very fantastic training program for us because I managed to learn a lot from the field of engineering, the field of like how to install solar systems and the like. So we are actually having a lot of projects that are going on very well at the moment as a result of this AFYEL program.
All right, thank you. I guess we heard when he mentioned that he's not an engineer, but he was able to also get into the program. So if you're not an engineer, don't be worried. As long as your essays are right, your passions are focused on the renewable energy industry, you will as well get in. All right, Nuruddin Isa, are you there?
Hello, everyone.
Hi, we can hear you.
Yeah, okay, good afternoon, everyone. We are an afternoon here in Nigeria. I'm Nuruddin Isa from Nigeria. I'm a fellow of cohort 2021, and I am really, really excited to be part of the cohort. I am a founder and the CEO of Sirius X Energy. Sirius X Energy is a startup located in Northwest region of Nigeria currently. And I, as a startup owner, as a founder, as an entrepreneur, I gain a lot during the cohort. We all know how important network and strategic linkage is in building a business or a company, and I could get that in the fellow. You know, you are dealing with young energy leaders across Africa, and you know how networking is, in how important networking is. Apart from your experience, you will gain in the whole cohort. You are going to build a strategic network. You just have to leverage on the opportunity and build on your network. Network is very, very important, and I gained that. And a whole lot of experience from the wind farm design, knowing the capacity factor of a wind farm, a whole lot of stuff you are going to gain during the program, and also the economic analysis, as one of our colleagues said, you are going to gain that also. Not necessarily that you are an engineering you majored in engineering space, you just need to involve it. It could be finance, it could be policy making, there's a whole lot of stuff you need to learn in the energy space. And also, I'm also a student energy fellow, just like Sharon also. I not just even the student energy fellow, there's a whole lot of stuff I gain, as in I was able to secure, I was able to apply for, and I was selected for many stuff. Part of the reason why I was selected is because of this student energy fellowship program. So just sit down and write a very good application, and before you submit, if there's any question you want to ask regarding the application, or there's a question you didn't really understand about application, it's a good avenue for you to ask the question right here. Thank you very much.
That's wonderful. I will also be highlighting some of the awards some of us were able to win as in regards to this fellowship, but that will be in due time. Okay, let's meet Benjamin Gumado.
Right. Hello, everyone. Glad to be here. All right. So, hello, please, can you all hear me?
Yes.
Great. So, Benjamin Gomado, I mean, I've gained a lot from this fellowship. Before joining this fellowship, I took a course in renewable energy and smart grid. And it has really opened my mind. But I needed to have that more knowledge in the field, right? So I needed expert training. So that led me to apply for this program. And to be frank, I've learned so much with regards to the solar and also hydro, bioenergy. The learning was so great. I've gotten a whole lot of new understanding in the space, in the renewable energy space. And also the people lecturing, I mean, they are experts. So, the delivering was great. So when you see on the portal, I say executive education, it's no less. You are going to receive executive education. And just to highlight some few gains from this fellowship, so through this fellowship, I've been awarded a scholarship to take NASEP. That is one of the highest solar certification in solar, right? So I've gotten a scholarship to take a training from Canadian Solar Institute, after which I'm supposed to write a certification exam, right? So, and that is through this program that I got it. And also I have a whole lot, I have a pool of network of international network, like Charlotte and other people, and I'm still in touch with them. We still communicate, we just share opportunity and all that. And I still have that good network with the management of this program. And you may be seeing me, when you get into the program, you may be seeing me. I will be with you. Yeah. So thank you. Just to highlight it. Thank you very much for the space.
That's true. That's true. Mr. Benjamin Komado will be serving as the program coordinator for this cohort. So if you're here, that means you're going to be meeting Mr. Benjamin a lot during the course of your training. So there's an opportunity to as well connect with him from here in preparation that you are going to get into the cohort. All right, Ijungi, Mr. Jungi, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here.
I will hear you.
Okay, greetings to everyone. Hope you hear me.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, I can hear very well, yeah.
All right, nice. So my name is Ijungi Olivia Low. I'm a civil engineer. And I know some of you might be wondering, but what's a civil engineer doing in the AFYEL cohort? And it might interest you to know that last year when this program was launched, as set by the coordinators, it was, aimed at economists, financial analysts, and, all those people into business and management. But on the contrary, it was full of engineers. So just to encourage you, I don't know which field you are in, but know that AFYEL covers a whole wide range of specialties. Okay, talking about AFYEL, most of my fellow alumni members have already mentioned most of the benefits, the network, the lessons, solar, hydro, wind, biogas. I mean, you might just hear them list this and you think they are just shallow information, or you just get, no, just to, confirm and to affirm what they have said. When I came in, I had my fears as a civil engineer that I won't fit in. And actually my interest in it was the hydro aspect of it. But to tell you the truth, when I came in, I got engulfed in everything so much so that today I do solar designs. I mean, and it is so interesting that I actually did one for a hospital, which is being realized and very soon will be completed. So AFYEL, it's a place for you to learn, for you to grow. I mean, it is just invaluable. There's just so much to benefit from it. And so I really do encourage you, go through the application platform and get to answer the questions that will be asked diligently and, passionately. So wishing you all the best in advance. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I think we'll be listening to the last person for now on the call. That's Mr. Joseph. Mr. Joseph, are you there? Mr. Joseph, are you there? Okay, I guess he's not here yet. All right, so let's just get into the program overview. So some of us have been hearing a lot of things about the AFYEL program, and maybe probably because we see young energy leaders, maybe we think some of us is for those that are just starting out their career in renewable energy, but it's not just that. It's both for those who have already started their career and those that are already in the renewable energy industry. And I'll be highlighting different reasons why it covers this range. But from here, from the portal, we can see that the Africa Fellowship is an education venture and is designed to invest into the next generation who will deliver a sustainable access to energy and ultimately a zero carbon Africa. As we all know, is to train recent graduates of physics, electrical and electronic engineering, mechanical engineering, physics, economics, mathematics, accounting, finance, and it's covering a whole range of discipline. So whatever course you have studied, the main point is how is your course relevant in the renewable energy industry. So for a lawyer per se, you might think they don't have a role to play. they do have a role to play when it comes to energy policies, when it comes to the regulations, when it comes to the act of making decisions concerning the tariff, incentives, the designing, all of these things. Those are the roles that a lawyer can play in the renewable energy industry. And just like you heard from Ms. Ijungi, she said she's a civil engineer, and with that background, she was able to, resonate more with the hydropower system. But later on, just like you heard from every one of us, we gained knowledge in different spheres. Originally, I was coming in to learn about bioenergy, but I ended up working with a solar company in the long run. At a point, I was designing solar systems, some standalone system, rooftop PV systems as well. So you can see that you can actually diversify. You can be in solar energy, but maybe your interest has been in solar energy, but you get to learn about bioenergy. Now, I didn't completely leave bioenergy. I've also been able to do some incredible work in designing biodigester systems. And I think I'll be sharing that maybe in the long run. So you can see there are opportunities for career advancement. And the goal is simple: to churn out competent workforce for the renewable energy industry. And one of the things that I've been able to gain from this program is that I gained that confidence to talk to people about something that is important. If you're here, then I know that the energy industry is important to you. Sorry, can you confirm that you hear me?
Yes, we can.
I can hear you.
All right,
Yeah.
thank you.
I can hear very well.
All right, thank you. If you have any questions already, please drop into the chat box. Our fellows are always there to answer questions. And if you have any specific questions to any one of them, you heard from Moise, he's a PhD student, and you can see how much the AFYEL Fellowship has contributed to his research. And from other participants, you can grab, you already know some of their backgrounds, so you can also pose specific questions to them. Going on, you can see that I was saying that the AFYEL program helped me, to be able to talk to people about important issues such as climate change, issues such as designing renewable energy technologies in general. There's this sense of purpose, definite purpose. You know what you want to do. You know how you're going to get there. Unlike oil and gas, because I studied chemical engineering. Oil and gas has a lot of restrictions to it, and you find a lot of challenges there, and you don't even know how to solve these challenges. We all know that fossil fuels, they are like one of the big dangers, and how do you manage technologies for drawing out crude oil? It's so elaborate and it's intricate, and you can't do it as a person. You have to do it as an entity or an organization. So some of those challenges actually hindered me in making, thinking about change in the long run. But here in this field of engineering, renewable energy, it's easier to make a change. It's easier to advocate for climate actions. It's easier to advocate for renewable energy technologies. You're even taught how to do this installation. One of the learning models on solar energy will be teaching you like practical steps on how to install a solar system. So I want you to be prepared. It's not a joke. I don't know if I should use that word, but the training is intensive. When I read the introduction of the training, like generally, and I saw intensive training, I was thinking it was just mere words. No, the training is actually intensive. Every week you'll be completing a course, and I think maybe the difference for this cohort is that maybe you'll be gaining access to some of the training videos that we created. So because we were the first cohort, the 2021 fellows, we were taught live. We talked with the facilitators, we talked with our program coordinators, we were speaking with our trainers, and we could ask direct questions, and it was very interactive. They were so open to listen to all the questions that we were asking. They were open to collaborate. And I don't know if any of us also heard about when Mr. Benjamin said that he has been able to gain good networks, and some of the project that he has been able to complete is courtesy of the AFYEL Fellowship. I won't say less than that, because I as well, I was being able to, the biodigester that I was able to design was courtesy of the mentor that I was paired with from the AFYEL Fellowship. So I talked with my mentor. He's from Brazil, Engineer Hoist Otelekna. He's from Brazil, but you see, we have already closed the gap of location. We speak every weekend, trying to adjust variables in the biodigester, trying to see, okay, do the system like this, make these corrections here and there. And I've been able to actually start something on my entrepreneurial idea. So last year in 2021, designing a biogas system was an idea to me, but this year I was able to design one. So this is all thanks to the knowledge I was able to gain from the AFYEL Fellowship. So we can see that the courses, you see solar energy, you see solar PV systems, you see onshore wind, you see bioenergy, you see hydropower. Just to speak a little bit about a hydropower module, you're going to be considering the engineering, that is building hydropower systems like the dams, making calculations as to the reservoir levels and all of that. And because our facilitator was very, should I say, he was very open to share knowledge with us. He gave us a complete program on R, where he did a case study. He designed everything, did a calculation, the power generation over a year. He started with the resources he was able to gain. That is the flow rate of the water around that an area, and he simulated that to find out about the power generation. All this was possible using the simulation software, and he shared complete program details. He shared the complete program code, and I was able to try out a little bit of some of the things that he listed, and I also got my own values, the same, similar to what he already had. Therefore, the onshore wind, we were able to do the Weibo frequency distribution, and we were able to design a wind turbine that was capable of generating, I think, about 2 megawatt power per year. That's for annual generation. I think that was what we were able to get for this onshore wind. So you can see that this was project-based. We had projects to work with. We had projects to fill the designs. So we are not just you're not going to be having theoretical knowledge. You're also going to be having the background. You're going to be doing the simulation yourself. And if you're very keen, if you're very enthusiastic about the renewable energy industry, and if you're willing to learn more skills, you find yourself knowing how to use Arrow, knowing how to use Excel, the Excel sheet, and also the solar PV model incorporated some software. So you'll be learning how to do all that through the course of your training. So once again, I just want to re-emphasize that you'll be covering, the areas you'll be covering will be the engineering, will be the economics. That means you'll be calculating how much it's going to cost you to do your idea. And then the financing, you'll be gaining information on different financing areas, and you'll be also taught the different financial models, as well as you also be taught the policies that surround this models. So it's like elaborate throughout the 6 months. I think this cohort is about 6 months or so. Throughout the 6 months of your training, you'll be doing a lot. And I will also encourage you to take it very seriously. So the thematic areas, just like I've already mentioned, you'll be doing the hydropower, the wind power, solar power, bioenergy, and economics and finance of renewable energy. I think some of the benefits we're also able to gain was that some of us got access to finance. Okay, it might not, I would say we got access to the knowledge, we got access to the awareness of some financial schemes. Like I was able to know about Olon Fund, which Mr. Nuruddin, one of the fellows, he was opportune to have that, although he had that before the program. But through this program, I was able to know about Olon. I was able to know about some incredible funding. And if you take this seriously, you'll be able to also have your own entrepreneurial idea, and possibly you'll be able to access funds. Also, one of the trainers, that's Dr. Shegun Adaju, due to this was the platform which I met Dr. Shegu Adaju, and since then we've also been discussing. And one of the projects that I'm doing, which has to do with community development, he has actually reached out after sharing the idea with him. Is also interested to collaborate for that particular project. So I'm just mentioning these benefits now because I want you to familiarize yourself. You should know what you're going to benefit from this training. You would know what to expect from the training. And I want you to also prepare your mind to gain this knowledge and as well as gain the network. Dr. Shegun Adaju is the president of the Renewable Energy Association of Nigeria. So you'll be getting to meet him. You're also going to meet Dr. Ivan Kramer. He is also the founder, the co-founder of Stardust Solar Limited, that's Canada. You also get to meet Professor Ohunakin. He is also, there was also a key thing that I mentioned during the course of the training, ability to get references. So one of the programs that I applied for later on, I reached out to the program director, that is Miss Glory Ogwebu, and she provided me with a reference letter that helped me to get into the Rest for Africa program. That was for mini grids. So I was able to get into that program due to the reference letter I obtained from the program director of AFYEL. So I would encourage every of the participants to just open yourself up to gain a lot from this training. All right, taking to the application, the essay questions. I'm also going to try to share my application essay, the things that I considered. But generally, the first question here says, describe a situation where you were faced with an energy deficiency related problem. How did you resolve it? What challenge did you face in resolving it? And how did your solution bring about progress and sustainable positive change? This question can be best answered using the STAR approach. If you notice the structure of the question, it took the STAR approach. The STAR approach is S for situation, T for the task, A for action, and R for the result. The first statement says, describe a situation where you were faced with an energy deficiency related problem. Those of us in Nigeria, we already have so many situations where we are faced with energy deficiency problems. So for me, growing up, I can't count the times where we had electricity, it was scarce. So you already have a situation. Now, the next thing that is, how did you resolve it? That is the tax. Okay, so what did you do to resolve the challenge? What challenge did you face in resolving it? So during the course of deploying the solutions that you were thinking of, what challenge did you face? This question was not part of our application essays, but I'm going to give you an illustration of something that I did a certain time. So there was this situation where during my youth service, I thought to design something for the community. So I asked questions, asked them, what do you think should be, what do you think I can do for you? What do you think you need most in the community? And a lot of them were highlighting different things. And some of them were talking about skill empowerment. And the idea I had then was to teach them how to make liquid soap, antiseptics, detergents, and stuff like that. So the situation was they needed to be empowered with skills. How did I resolve it? By designing an outreach to a school where I taught the students how to do those materials that I listed. Now, the challenges that I faced were in the course of speaking with the local government inspector and also the chairman. So things like restrictions were there, such as how are you going to get funds? And true, yes, I also faced the challenge of fund raising, but later on, I was also able to gain funds from my network and as well as even from the local government. And I was able to bring that solution. And afterwards, the students were able to also do this project. So in the end, I had my students also produce liquid soap. I had some of them also produce the detergents, and a lot of them replicated the project. So these are ways you can just highlight them strategically. The solution, how did you resolve it? The challenge that you faced with this, and how did your solution bring about progress? Sometimes it could be that you design solar lamps, or it could be that there's this project that one of us worked on, Dazam, but I think he's not here, Mr. Mohammed, and also Nuruddin. They have this idea. Mohammed, he designed a wind turbine from tablespoons, and he was able to use that to generate electricity for 1,000 homes in his community. For Nuruddin, there's this hybrid solar and wind system that he has that is also solving energy challenges. So the next, at any point, if the fellows want to contribute to any of these essays, please just let me know and you can comment. I don't know if any of the fellows have something to say concerning this first application essay while I open up my application essay.
Yeah, I would like to make a contribution. If you don't mind. Shalom.
It's okay, you can go on.
Okay, so perhaps for non-engineers that might not have had the experience to solve maybe energy-related problems using their knowledge of the renewable energy space. So it could be that probably you, like myself, I was in the Sustainable Development Group SDG, CDS when I was in NYC program. So I was able to, carry out some projects. So stuff like that could count as, part of the effort that you did to bring about a sustainable, positive change. It might be that you collaborated with a team to achieve one of the SDG goals. We have 17 SDG goals. So it might not be necessarily related to, solar, wind directly. But what you did, that's related to sustainable development goals. I think that will also count.
Okay, that's awesome. That's true. What you yes, it's true. I hope yes, they're looking for leaders, but if you collaborated with someone else to do a project, that still counts. That still counts. So don't feel that it's something that has to be enormous, something that has to be big. I think one of the things that I talked about was with Clean Technology Hub, and we were just brainstorming on how we can come about briskets and bio cook stoves. So that was one of the things that I highlighted. So the next one is what capacity or skills do you hope to benefit from participating in this program that you would not be able to develop through other opportunities? How will you use those skills and that knowledge to enhance your activities in your community? Okay, this question, it's quite tricky because they said something that you would not be able to develop through other opportunities. So one of the things that I will tell you to do is going back to the AFYEL program time, this description of the AFYEL program. What do you see? What are they offering? So try and target the benefits of this program. The things that they have highlighted, like the benefits of training, investing, the opportunity to be an energy leader in your community, the opportunity to accelerate zero carbon, to accelerate the goal of being a zero carbon, goal of zero carbon Africa. And also you can highlight skills such as networking, networking with top academic institutions. You also see that you're going to be taught by the Renewable Energy Technology Training Institute. And you also highlight how you're going to be in close contact with the private sector companies. So these are some of the benefits. So you try to align skills such as networking with this wide, diverse range of people. These are some of the things that you can highlight. Therefore, someone that is on an engineering background, you can say you're gaining financial skills, economic skills, and these are the skills that you cannot find in any other program. Like, honestly, the AFYEL program is one of the most unique programs that been in, where you're combining engineering highlights. I was looking for some of the benefits of the training. Maybe I'll check. I don't know if someone else wants, if any other fellow wants to contribute to that question before we move.
I would like to comment. So actually, one thing is being here, being in this discussion today, is like you getting an expo into the answers you give to that second question. I mean, you've already seen people that have been there in the past, what they did. So you know your expectations, you know how much you can get from the program. You've known that. You can get network. It's not just about what's written on the website alone. Also, you've seen actual results here. You see people that have gotten funding for their projects due to the training they've gotten. You've seen people that have gotten better research capabilities. You've seen people that have gotten networks, as I said earlier. I've seen people that have gotten even higher programs. I mean, there's so much the possibilities of what to gain from this program. I mean, what is specific to this program is inexhaustible. So if you, since you've listened to what I've been discussed today, I believe based on what you want, based on your career direction, you can use to determine, okay, this is what I expect. And based on what I've had, you could actually use this discussion as a reference point, say, okay, based on Shalom's achievement and stuff like that was discussed in today's meeting, based on this, with my previous endeavors and my future plans, this program will also help me achieve A, B, C, and I believe it's, stuff like that. So that's what I just have to contribute.
That's accurate. Is there any other person that wants to contribute before I summarize that question there? Okay, okay, Benjamin.
Great. So that's a good question. Now, one thing you need to know, one key thing you need to know when you're applying for fellowship, and of course this one, is that the knowledge you're going to garner, right? Not just for yourself. Okay, well, personally, we developed. There's no two ways about that. But then what next? The knowledge you're gonna, what are you going to use the knowledge for, right? So you also need to take in terms of the environment, in terms of the global space, how you are going to, that knowledge is going to affect the global space, right? And how that knowledge is going to affect the community that you are, right? So if you're able to get a global network here, you can leverage on that to do maybe projects, right? Projects in your community that can benefit the people in the community. And in the long run, you're also helping adding to the zero carbon net footprint, right, in Africa and across the globe. So you can also think along that line too. And all that all my other fellows have said, I mean, that is it. Yeah, so there's so much you're going to get from this, and also try also to think in terms of the environment, in terms of the global space, and how you're going to add to the SDG goals. Yeah, great, thanks.
All right, that's awesome. The area which highlighted, how would you use those skills and that knowledge to enhance your activities? So sometimes it might not be so massive, but it could be things like, I would use that to spread the knowledge. So there's one good thing I know about AFYEL. They like when you replicate the knowledge that you have gained. So you could say that you want to use that to maybe set up a hub, or maybe if you already have one, you already have an organization that is focused on energy training, is focused on energy literacy. You can also say that you're going to use the skills you're gaining, to transfer to, the skills to transfer knowledge to other young people, encouraging them to, be a part of these trainings. And things like that are also the things that the fellowship, they're looking forward to see. Now, what are your accomplishments in the energy sector within the last 1 year? Okay, so your accomplishments in the energy sector could be courses that you have covered. It could be networking events that you have gone to. It could be programs as well. And in case you've not, in case you've not gotten to maybe a lot of programs, you can start now to volunteer. So what you could say for the energy sector, in case maybe it's new to you, you could use, if you have an engineering background, you already have something that you have done, because completing courses in engineering, you talk about energy a lot. You talk about just the peripheral of renewable energy systems. I remember we talked about that in the course of my modules back in the university. So you could also reference some of the courses that you took those times in the university. It can also serve as some of the accomplishments you've done. But then if you've gone on to do great things, then please mention them. This is the time to sell yourself. This is the time to talk about all the little nitty-gritties that you've done, the times, the people that you've impacted. Are you a part of for Youth Corps members, you do this, what do they call it, community projects, right? And maybe you are in the Sustainable Development Goal group, then maybe you've carried out a project within that sphere. You could also highlight that as your accomplishment. Now, what are your goals in the next 5 years? What I'll emphasize on is you must be smart about this. So goals for the AFYEL, what they're looking out to see are smart goals. Smart goals that are specific, measurable. You can see that it's already giving you time, 5 years. Measurable, it's achievable, it's relevant, either to the Sustainable Development Goals, in that to the United Nations, to Africa, so one thing I usually do, anything I want to say, I always tie it back to United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. And I highlight them 7 and 13, because that's the one that is really, although other spheres of the SDGs are connected to energy transitioning, but the core ones are 7 and 13, access to affordable energy and climate action. So it is important that you mention that as one of the things that you aim to achieve in your career goals. That should be one of the results. Now, in what ways will this program help you achieve those goals? I think we had this question in us. Now, what they mean by this is state clearly your career goal, and let that career goal be relevant to what is happening in the country. It could be around maybe energy efficiency. It could even be that you want to do your PhD. So it might not necessarily be that you want to start an enterprise. It could be that you want to do your PhD in the next 5 years, and the research you want to conduct in your PhD is going to fill so and so gap in the energy industry. There are so many gaps. In the solar energy, we are actually talking about the efficiency of the panels. In the bioenergy, we are talking about least and less cost-effective methods to generate biofuels. And in the hydro sector, we are talking about how to reduce the negative impact of hydropower to the environment. Similar thing with the wind turbines, they're massive, they're huge. So these are research areas that you can say you want to cover up. And you could also say that you want to start your own, it might not necessarily be a big enterprise. It could be that you want to start a knowledge sharing group. You could be that you can actually dream big to say that in the next 5 years, I want to be able to have talked with my community head to bring so and so to my community. So these are things, you could even say that your goal in the next 5 years is to teach in schools where you're talking to the secondary school students about incorporating it in their program curriculum. It could be anything. So do not restrict yourself to starting up an organization and doing those like elaborate things, because we would also be looking at how achievable is this goal within 5 years. So it's not going to be cool, you're dreaming big, and then it's something that we all know that is not achievable. Take, for instance, saying that you want to change a policy. We know that policies take time to vet and all of that. So stating that you want to change a policy in the next 5 years looks like a very huge goal, unless you are in policy regulatory bodies, like you work with them, then this goal can be achievable. So now, in what ways will this program help you achieve those goals? So you state clearly how this program is going to help you achieve, if it is imparting you with skills, imparting you with knowledge. It could be that it's giving you the network, is helping you with research areas, like Professor Ohanikin. He's a professor in I think that's 2 universities. He teaches at Covenant University, and he's also a lecturer. I think there's this university in the UK. So you could say that you want to collaborate with him since you saw that he is part of the facilitators of this program. So these are things you could highlight. I don't know if any other person, one of our fellows, want to say another thing just to contribute to this question.
Yeah, please, let me just add something. before I say what to say, I just want to let all those who are participating know that being present for this session is a plus to you. Not that your applications be considered, I mean in your preparations. If I had the opportunity you had right now, I wouldn't have drank paracetamol after writing my application because it wasn't really easy. Okay, so just to add to what Shalom has said, know that you have your own stories. So just try to be honest with your little stories, but write it in a convincing manner. It is a leadership program, and what you should note is that in this application, the coordinators, they are just trying to evaluate your your focus, your seriousness. You have a plan to bring a change, to to be active in the sector. So because Shalom is saying so many things, don't get confused and want to create stories for yourselves. Just be honest with your little stories and bring it out in a very convincing manner. So that's just what I wanted to level. Thanks.
Yeah, that's important. You need to be unique. You need to be yourself. The reason why I said a lot of those things were just examples from different backgrounds. So I took a background of a teacher, I took a background of an engineer, I just tried to look at possible backgrounds that we would have here, because I think I know a couple of some of us here on this meeting, and I was just trying to give illustrations. So the idea is be unique, have your own story, Even what I'm going to share with us at the end of soon, I don't want you to go on to go and copy it. Just use it as a guide to the essay you're going to create. All right. I hope I didn't miss out on anyone. Okay. So the next is, which of the program learning tracks are you most interested in and why? Okay, so this question is quite specific, but you can be flexible with this. This doesn't mean that you are not going to talk about the other courses. So when they say you're most interested in, you say why you're most interested in, probably if it's solar, you list the reason why you're most interested in solar. And then you also say that you want to learn about hydropower, onshore wind, and even bioenergy. I don't want to go on giving us, creating some pictures in our mind, but I believe that this kind of webinars are very great to tailor what you want to do. So I'm going to still cite some instances. If you're thinking about the solar power route, that's the track, possible things that you can gain after building up knowledge in the solar energy system is to do what? To, propel your research. It could be that you're interested in carrying out researches around solar energy. So because of this training, and you also see that the learning tracks are considering the engineering aspect of solar, you believe that this engineering module will help you in your research. Now, there's one thing I forgot to mention. You have to be consistent. Whatever you write in the first, however you paste, whatever picture you create of yourself in the first statement should be the same picture. And whatever goal you have highlighted in the previous, this particular essay around your goals to achieve in the next 5 years, know how to reflect that goal in the learning track you're going to be choosing. So if your goal in the next 5 years is to build a biodigester, possibly the learning tracks that you should be interested in should be bioenergy. If it is to do a mini grid or a grid integration in the next 5 years. That is where you can now say, okay, fine, I want to learn how to integrate hydropower, onshore wind, solar power, bioenergy into the grid. And that's true. One of our courses, I think that was either Mr. Mohammed or Engineer Piero, they taught us about how to design hybrid systems. So they were using solar PV, a combination of solar PV systems and their onshore wind. And they showed us some practical data analysis on how they were able to do that, and also the policy regulations around them. So if it is something like this that you want to do in the next 5 years, or you want to be one of the policymakers, you could say what you're interested in is could be the onshore wind and the hydropower, and you highlight the learning model that you're going to the track. So you highlight solar, you highlight, yes, the solar and the wind. And you could also say that you heard some of those things from this webinar, and you feel that these things are going to propel your goal in the next 5 years. And so everything you're going to be mentioning here should tally with every other thing you're going to mention in the other parts of your essays. While at the end, you can just touch on the other tracks, because you're actually having a holistic view. You're actually learning about all the forms of energy. So yes, talk about one, be specific about one, but also highlight how the other systems will come into play. I remember the program, the track that I was interested in was bioenergy, but I also spoke about hydropower, onshore wind, solar power. And then I think in this cohort, Ms. Glory has this track where she's going to be talking about some profession as a solar technician, things like that, some kind of how you can make money from solar. So it's going to be covered in the solar power model. So this is something that you should also consider. Because we don't have much time, why should you be chosen as an AFYEL fellow? Let me get to my slide. I do not want to waste time there because I do not want that to serve as a reference for anyone. I want you to be very original about your essays. All right, so this is what I have here for this particular one. So the question, why should you be chosen as an AFYEL Africa Energy Fellow? So my response to this was, based on my research, the Africa Energy Fellowship is designed to invest I usually do this. I go to the program website, I check the goal of the organization, and I check what they are interested in doing. And with that, I tailor it to what I want to do. So I read this from AFYEL program, the introductory part, the overview, the program overview. And it says to invest in the next generation who will deliver sustainable access to energy and ultimately zero carbon Africa. And then I should be chosen because I have sustained an incredible passion for renewable energy, completing an intensive degree program in chemical engineering. Just like I mentioned, I had a chemical engineering background, but that didn't stop me. So prior to graduation, I did this project, I did this seminar, so I highlighted it. And this was where my interest in bioenergy started, when I finished the seminar in school. And I just mentioned that I was part of the graduating class, top 10 of my graduating class. And then I also talked about the fact I was volunteering for this organization. So all the organizations that you'll be seeing on this essays are all voluntary. I was not paid for any of them, but I used that as a, what should I say, as my background for my experiences in this renewable energy industry. So we were highlighting the economic analysis of biofuel production and food security in Nigeria. It was a research, and we are still doing that. The next thing I highlighted was that I'm passionate about this fellowship vision of churning out a competent renewable energy workforce and building entrepreneurs who will advance access to clean energy, and this aligns with my career goal. So I have highlighted that, or I have highlighted that this is my career goal, to be able to build knowledge as well as empower other people, young people, on skills in the renewable energy industry. And then I started to talk about myself, what I feel, how I feel I can contribute to the program, and how I feel I am perfect to take on this program. So I mentioned that I'm a fast learner, I'm self-motivated, and I pick on crucial knowledge and deep understanding of projects aimed at providing solution to global problems. So, and then I mentioned that I'm keen to learn, because the program will be intensive. So you have to show that you are ready to learn and you're ready to receive invaluable mentorship from engineers, industry experts. We've already mentioned some of them. Engineer Ivan Kramer, he is a solar engineer. We also have Professor Hannikin. He is an expert in wind energy design. We have Engineer Horst. He is a biogas expert, bioengineer expert, and he has had over more than 10 to 14 years of experience in the bioenergy industry. So these are some of the industrial links that you'll be gaining access to. And then you also mentioned that you have the opportunity to network with other young engineers. At first, I didn't know the caliber of engineers that I was working with, that I was learning with, until I decided to speak with them. When I spoke with Nuruddin, it blew my mind about the system that he had. Similar thing with Mohammed Kamara. And I also spoke with Emmanuel Ifa. He's also Ghanaian, and he has this company where they are designing solar lighting systems. And he has worked with credible people. And these were things that I could, people that I could connect with. And for my own idea, my own entrepreneurial idea, I was able to invite some of them to speak at events that I was holding, groomed for capacity building of the young generation. So these are the kind of benefits that you get from this program. And then I ended up with, I am confident that I can combine my knowledge and prowess in research because, okay, just like they mentioned, what skills do you have and all of that. I mentioned that I'm skillful in research and I have a backup for that, where I said I work with researchers on this. So I just mentioned that in research to incredibly contributes to fulfilling the vision of the Africa Energy Fellowship and to become a formidable force in unlocking Africa's sustainable future. So I usually encourage people to end with a strong statement. I am confident. I strongly believe. End with a strong statement about yourself. That would also show proof that you know what you stand to gain from the fellowship and you know how well you're going to contribute and why they should choose you and not choose any other person. I don't know if any other person, any of our fellows, Nuruddin, do you have something to say concerning why this particular question, why should you be chosen as an African Energy Fellow? Then I just move to the next one. Any fellow has anything to contribute here? Movies? Are you still hearing me? Yes. Professor Hannikin is a visiting lecturer at the University of Berkeley. Yeah. So that's an information you would like to utilize in your essay. yes, the fellowship will be online. Everything will be online, but trust me, it's as relative as possible, because for the solar engineering course, you'll be writing exams on it. So you'll be taking some tests on it. So you would have to understand what you're going, and you don't have so much time to take the test. You'll be taking the test a day after. I mean, the deadline for submission is a day after the course. Of the course, each of the times your solar class is going to happen. So it's something that is very relative. Similar thing for the bioenergy class and the hydropower. For the wind turbine, I don't know how the approach Professor Hannikin is going to use this time around, but for our sets, we were given a project, and I, myself, Muiz, Mutali, I think Fatu, all of us were able to collaborate to do that. Muiz simulated the wind turbine, and we were able to learn from him as well. So it's going to be very relative. It's going to be project based. So don't think that because it is online, it will be far away. No, it's going to be very project based. If you have any other questions, please drop in the chat box. I'm just going to pause to answer them. So does any other fellow have anything to contribute to the previous question, and then we can move on? Okay. It was not a 7 to 7, like it was not every day of the week. From the day of your induction, you'll be given a program booklet. The program booklets will highlight the days you will have the training. I think the most that we had in a week were 3 classes. Yes, you have access to all the materials as PDF, all the instructors' materials. You have them as PDF sent to your email address. So I still have my documents, and I still have access. Sometimes when I need them for references, I go back and I highlight some of the things. There is this academy stuff that I wanted to do, and the thing we're going to be using for the academy, they are still the knowledge that we gained from this intensive training. So the most that we had for a week were 4 days, and the longest hours you ever stay will be 2 hours and maybe 30 minutes. That's based on the questions, but normally is scheduled for 2 hours. But if you guys have a lot of questions, then you can also, you might shoot. Okay, can a final year student who has finished a project but has not graduated due to the person? Okay, the strike action. I don't think we are asking for I don't think we're asking for your certificate. So based on the fact that that is not inclusive, you can hide as long as you have the skills, you have your engagement in the energy industry is still valid. I will encourage you to submit your application. Submit your application. Don't think of anything as a limitation. Just submit it. Okay, how long does it take? Okay, I forgot to highlight that during when I was talking about the, okay, let me just do that now. So there's a program timeline. So application opens in September, and we'll be reviewing the applications till October. And then around the middle of October, we will have the program onboarding. Mr. Benjamin, can you throw more light on this as one of the program coordinators?
Right. Yeah, so thank you. Yeah, so basically, as you can see the schedule on the website, so application opens from September to October, and by October, you should expect onboarding, and orientation. So, and by October, December, that time frame, you should expect like a business, right? So the fellowship starts. That's where things get started. And by January, February, that'll be like a second section. December comes in, and after some short this thing, so that will be the second phase up to February. Yeah. So and of course there will be capstone projects that also come along. Yeah. So as you see on the page here, that is it's not going to be different. The timeline is going to be followed. Yeah. Does that answer the questions?
Yes, it does. Thank you so much.
Great.
So this is
Great.
what you're going to expect. I think the first core academic engagement will be around solar and onshore wind. Then the next you'll be having is bioenergy, no, hydropower, then bioenergy. Then you now start having all those extras about how to build an entrepreneurial idea, how to get funds, policies, all of those things. Then finally your capstone project. So this capstone project is actually very, very necessary. Why I would say that is, again, you could come across other applications that you want to submit, and probably they ask for a project that you have done in the past or an entrepreneurial idea. Because you already participated in the capstone project, you will have something to show for that application. So remember, here is just the starting point, or should I say it's just like one of the stepping stones for you. So be open to every engagement, everything that is going to be set out for you. Our time is fast spent. Let me just rush on through this. What specific skills? Yes. So for myself, I highlighted project management, health, safety, and environment. So if you've taken these courses, it could be online on Coursera. Wherever you've taken the course, please highlight them. I did grant writing and also talked about basic Python language. And then I talked about my soft skills, analytical, problem solving, communications, interpersonal, teamwork, and innovation. So if you worked in a project with somebody, please do well to highlight that. So I did a program with young innovation leaders, and basically we were just doing innovation courses, and I was able to win some of the awards. So I highlighted that in my application. And then I also talked about my skill set, like in managing projects. I remember saying something about doing a project that I taught kids how to make liquid soap and stuff like that. So I also talked about that here. That's the project I was referring to here. So in total, we had over 200. It was such a strenuous day, but that was one of the most fulfilling days of my life, having to impact in my community. It was worthwhile. So conclusively, I also highlighted, as I always say, have a strong conclusion. Convince the AFYEL team that you are the best candidate. So I talked about being proactive, dedicated, committed to development, and I've also completed projects before deadlines. And I also talked about the ability to work in a team, as a team member, and as a leader. And you know what? One of the references that I was able to gain from this fellowship, while Ms. Dory was writing a recommendation for me, she highlighted this as someone that was able to be a leader. And maybe that's what's contributed to the fact that when I was selected for the Rest for Africa Foundation training, I was selected as a project, what do they call it again? A project facilitator. I had not worked on a mini grid project before. I do not even know how to start mini grids, but I was selected for the program. And not just that, I was selected as a project facilitator. So I was able to work with 10, I was leading the team to work with 10 people to do the mini grid design. I tell you, after that program, that was what helped me to get a job. So all the training I've been doing were online. I did AFYEL online. I did Rest for Africa online. But when I went for my job interview, I spoke like someone that had already installed the mini grid, like I already installed solar panel systems. So they could relate with my passion. They could relate with the work I had done because I was doing this, I was being involved in all of that. And that was how I got my first solar contract, like the first job I had in the solar energy space. So I went on to do a 30 kVA design. In fact, so many systems I can't even mention. So I want you to open your mind to the training and gain as much skills. Show yourself. Show if you have a leadership skill, show it. If you have a teamwork skill, show it. And I tell you, the program coordinators, they are watching you. Whenever you would ask them for references, they will know how to speak for you. They know how to back you up in any statement that you make on your social media platforms. When you tag them, I was even surprised. One of the engineers came on one of my posts and made a comment that I didn't even notice that he was aware of all the times I was contributing in the class. So these things are things that you should also take note, be very involved. I think I have to rush on this. Then finally we'll close with questions. Have you received any competence training? Just like the previous question that was asked, what have you done in 1 year? The Clean Technology Hub was a volunteering opportunity that I got. And trust me, I didn't even do any of the project like intensively. What I was just doing was attending their webinars and following up on the things that they were doing. So all these things I was talking about, we did research, the development, demonstration, incubation. The incubation, they did the deployment. The Clean Technology Hub, like the staffs did the deployment, but in the process, we followed to do the brainstorming and stuff like that. So in the end, I talked about one of the physical programs that we had, physical grit and meets program. We talked about building solar panels to remote areas, sensitizing communities in the use of biomass brisket, and participating in innovative measures on large-scale adoption of renewable energy systems. So one of that I mentioned it. You just know how to craft your experiences, know how to write about them. The next things were just MOOs. These are massive open online courses. So I just listed all the massive online open courses that I had done. And then I talked about one of the discovery that I made, that I got to know about from the Pan-African Research Group. And then I ended it with mentioning that I was a volunteer. Everything that I said here, all of them are voluntary positions. The low emissions development strategies. And then during the symposium, I was there. I also asked questions. I connected with Ms. Anita, that's a Rural Electrification Agency. I also connected with, I think her name is Dr. Joanne. She's also current with rural Nigerian energy electrification. So the last one is, in what ways will this program help you achieve your goals? So I mentioned it once again that my goal is being pivotal in the energy transition in Nigeria. In 10 years, you see, my own point of mini grid, I had to leave it in 10 years. But intermittently, within the 10 years, I want to go for my higher degree program for 2 years. In 5 years, I'll also be collaborating with other engineers to monitor, simulate the operations of any energy producing company. But somehow I'm doing this already. I'm doing this in an energy producing company, but I still hope to fulfill my 2-year plan. And remember, I also told you, align your goals with United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. And also that goal is the same goal that the Renewable Energy Technology Training Institute has. And these are the parent foundation of this training. AFYEL is under Red Sea, as we fondly call it. And finally, I felt that I'll be building long-lasting relationships, and I didn't joke about that. The friends that I gained from this training, I don't think I would have had the opportunity to meet them. Many of them are outside the country. Muiz is doing his PhD studies in the US. So all these people, they are, Benjamin is in Ghana. Olivia is in Cameroon. A lot of them are in different parts of the world. And I felt networking was one of the core things that I was looking up to gain from the fellowship. And also talked about the core, the knowledge I'll be gaining in the core aspects of renewable energy. And then conclusively, I had to bring the women factor here. So if you're a woman, you can also use this. This is very important when we're talking about gender equality. So I also said being a notable woman in the energy transition, and then to enormously inspire the younger generation. I think that's all for the essays that we wrote. So if you have questions now, this is time to ask questions. In case you've not answered any of your questions, if you want to speak, like if you want to speak, you can just raise your hand. Let you speak. Okay. Yuma, please ask your question.
Okay, thank you very much for this training. I'm Yuma Krumlakwe from Togo. I'm currently studying, I'm currently in my master's degree in energy and green hydrogen. Okay.
Sorry.
Because of the limited
okay.
that's information that you talk about in the CV, so that because we have like where we are asked to convince them, like we have only 100 words. So I think that perhaps someone may do many things. So I think if we can add all this information in our CV so that they can exactly know what we did in our previous energy project. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, I think that's more like a contribution, and I get that. The idea of giving you 150 words is to just ask, like to know there are some projects that when you mention the impact of that project, it's huge. Like the project that I did, I said I impacted on 200 students, 200 youths, women and children. Only seeing that metric, 200, you're like, that must be a big project. So we know that we take into consideration that you would do a lot. We know that you have a lot. We know you have a lot of potentials. 1 year is not even when you started the energy career, your journey. But the thing is, highlight the ones that are like huge if you have so many experiences. But just like you mentioned, you're already doing your master's program. So it's like a huge plus your application, and the rest you added to your CV. Your CV is also vetted. I see someone asking about it, the 30 minutes video, the 30 seconds video. Is it 30 seconds? Okay. All right. We weren't asked to do a video, but I've done a couple of videos for some applications. What are they looking forward to? To the way you present yourself. Say your name, tell them your interest in applying, and just your background. You've already written some of these things in your application, so you don't need to elaborate on them. Just show how open you are, smile, that shows that you're friendly, you're comely, make yourself, I even talked about my hobbies in the last video I did. That was for, I think that was student energy career training program that I applied for. I talked about my hobbies rather than talking about those stress, those intensive stuff. I just talked about the fact that I love meeting people, new people, and I love learning from that. So, these are the things that the fellowship keeps highlighting. So you just show them with a proof in your video that you are such kind of person. I think that will serve in the video. Was someone about to ask something? Samuel, Mr. Samuel Safa.
The next
Okay. Blessing.
The latest question, the fellowship.
Okay.
Can I go?
Blessing. All right, go on.
Okay, I want to ask a question. Good afternoon. I'm a student. My project is in corrosion. So I know corrosion has a link with energy and LPG. So I don't know if someone can help me. How can I connect corrosion to energy? Because it's actually corrosion in oil plants. That's the field.
Movies. Do you have any idea? Is Muisi here? Is he about to speak? Okay. From my own end, I think so correction can play in the roles in the areas of the technologies. So it could be that the technology that we are using in for the solar, for example, the ones on the panels, you could also highlight that that could affect the efficiency of the panels. So you believe that you could use the knowledge that you have in your research on corrosion to actually apply in further research that would also propel the solar energy industry. But not to copy what I have word to word, but I think this is a way to also show to draw the line between corrosion and the energy. And you can always say that you're also interested in the energy systems, and you are also looking forward to gain new knowledge on how to apply, on how to be more practical from your background. Is that helpful?
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. Okay, I have on the call one of our other fellows, that's Mr. Samuel Safo.
Hello, please can you hear me?
Nice to hear. Yeah, nice to meet you again.
Okay, I'm Safo Samuel Jr. from Ghana, and then I also got the opportunity to join the program. I would recommend this program for any energy enthusiast, that knowledge is the most important vehicle in our generation. And whoever wants to go further, you need a lot of knowledge. That's where you can propel yourself into the future and go out and then make a difference. When I actually joined the program, even though I'm from electrical background, but when I joined the program, I got the opportunity to meet a lot of lecturers who are not just theoretical lecturers, but they've been on the field, they have the experience, they've worked with a lot of companies. Some are serving as consultants. So you get the opportunity to know the practical aspect of whatever you are being taught, even though you might not even have an opportunity to even have a hands-on training. But whenever you're speaking, people might even think that you've been working on some of these projects for a quite long time. I would also encourage new fellows who will be joining or coming on board that you should also commit time and make sure that you be able to be present, whatever be the case. I remember during my time, I was supervising a project, so I have to just run away from the site, get to a place where the connection was good in order to join the class. And I was able to complete almost 90% of the class. So I would advise you that those people who are coming to teach you, they have the experience. You will never get it anywhere. And even if you are going to get it somewhere, you need to pay huge sums of money for it. But this is free and off charge. You only need to cater for your internet bundle or whatever cost. So I also advise all of us and encourage each and everyone to make sure that you make time for this, because whatever knowledge you'll be imparted, it is going to take you a long way, and it's going to make people, you're going to meet a lot of great people where you are going to get a lot of collaboration, even if in terms of job, if you are not working after school, because of this knowledge you are going to gain. I can tell you that in less than 6 months, you're going to secure one of the best jobs you'd even ever dream of. Thank you very much.
Wow, that's very true. That's very true. In terms of job, you could be able to secure a job that you've never dreamed of. I don't know if there's any other questions. Thank you so much, Mr. Samuel, for highlighting that. Our fellows, please, you can drop your LinkedIn contact or your email address, anything that can help the applicants to reach out to you. But sorry, I was supposed to make the disclaimer. We are not going to be reviewing anybody's application, because we have a role to play during the selection process. So we just did this just to ensure that we have given you what we think you need. But if you want to ask us questions, you can ask us questions, but please do not ask anyone to review your essays for you, so that we will be doing a very clear reflection of fairness and equity. If we don't have any other thing, I think we can end this meeting now, or is someone else, any fellow wants to say anything, or any of the applicants, do you have any other questions? We can just take that, then we end the meeting, because time is fast spent.
Yeah, please. I can't let this session go to an end, Shalom, without saying thank you to you for bringing up this initiative. Indeed, you're that leader Madame Glory always says. I call you Petit Glory not for anything. I'm very serious about this. So, I mean, this session, Shalom has been very explicit in every aspect. So, dear friends, you have the holistic view of AFYEL and everything. So just take some time in a quiet place and prepare your applications very well. Wish you all the luck again.
Thank you so much, Jungi. Okay. All right. You're welcome, Samuel. All right. I think I'm ending the call now. I'll end the call now. Oh, Joseph, you want to say something?
Yeah, so you called my name the other time. I was listening.
Yeah, you're in a noisy place.
Yes, so but I was listening to everything. Thank you so much for the initiative. Really appreciate it.
All right, please feel free to reach out to any of us. We've dropped most of our LinkedIn contacts. In case you don't have any of our LinkedIn contacts, just check the names you're seeing on the screen. Search for us, connect to us, tell us that you were part of the AFYEL webinar and you want to connect further, and we'll be happy to connect with you. We would also be happy to share more insights into different other programs that you would be interested in the long run. So cheers, and we are looking forward to seeing your applications. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
All right,
Thank
bye.
you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for attending.
Hello?
Yes, Ra.
Hello, Shalom.
Yes, good
Yes,
afternoon.
where could you give me your feedback on my application, on my essays?
It's not possible to give you a review on your essay, sincerely, because we're still part of the team that will review the essays. That's why I was saying that we cannot review essays. We made this section like this so that you can be able to see what you should write. And I believe you will do well after this. I believe you have a lot of ideas already. I cannot review essays now because we are still part of the selection. So I wouldn't want to review an essay. And
okay.
yeah.
Okay. I hope we can get a
we can
chance,
stay in touch.
inshallah.
Yes, please send me. I sent my LinkedIn. Let me send it again. Please do well to connect with me. I'll be happy to hear from you. Any other information you need concerning other fellowships, I'll still be able to share that with you. Thank you so much. All right, I'll end the call for everybody now. Thank you so much.